Hello, I'm Lelda Smits for the Finance News Network, and joining me from Inabox Group is its Managing Director and CEO, Damian Kay. Damian, welcome back to FNN.
Thanks, Lelda. I'm pleased to be here.
Wonderful. Now, Inabox has just secured a new financing deal with Commonwealth Bank. What are the terms of the agreement?
Yeah, look, that's a really good question. It's a very exciting development in the Inabox's drive to deliver its strategy. It's the facility is split into three. There's a sort of a small working capital facility, which I'll talk about a bit later. There's asset financing, and there's also M&A funding or acquisition funding. In terms of the acquisition funding, it is the criteria there that it needs to be EBITDA accretive. We've never really had long-term debt, allocated to. We actually don't have any long-term debt until now, which is quite amazing. But moving forward, we're able now to acquire, and as long as those acquisitions fit within the channels that we've set up and the foundations that we've set, and that it's EBITDA accretive, then we're able to draw down on that facility moving forward and help us with that growth and that strategy that we set down.
Certainly looking closer at your growth, up to $3 million has been earmarked for future acquisitions. What kind of assets will you be considering?
Yeah, look, that's a really good question. We look in the wholesale channel. There's still, at our area of or our part of that market, it's consolidating. And there's a number of opportunities out there. The idea for the Inabox Group is that we, in a big way, partake in that consolidation. And there's a number of opportunities that we have there, and that's a really key focus for us using those funds. In the direct channel, we've obviously recently launched Anitel Communications, so there's opportunities for us to acquire existing retail service providers. Especially in the business space, obviously that's where we play predominantly, and also, where appropriate in the IT services space to help expand out some of the areas such as South Australia and other areas that we need to sort of bolster the business a bit. So really it's across wholesale and our direct Anitel channel is the key areas of focus for acquisition with those funds.
Excellent. And Inabox will also have access to a working capital facility of up to $1 million. Where will these funds be deployed?
It's not a huge amount of money. We've never, the business generates very good, operating cash flows, it's just good to make sure we have a facility there for that. Currently, we use a couple of different sort of forms of working capital, whether it be credit cards for the staff, to travel and so forth, or whether it be, a small facility with our existing, banking provider. So this is kind of really consolidating all of those working capital instruments into one facility. But look, we actually don't need the capital now. We really don't have a cash flow shortage, but this is really for when we expand the business. As we continue to expand the business, it's to make sure that we've got that working capital facility there. But we really don't need the cash right now.
Certainly. Now, the deal has also increased the Anitel Finance facility and provided additional finance. How will this support the company's growth?
Yeah, look, this was a really important part of the deal that we did with CBA. There's an existing $3 million sort of facility with CBA that supported the initial sort of rollout phase of HCS to the Tasmanian government. We're continuing that drive. That facility, really, the original $3 million that's there will get us to rolling out the Tasmanian government, including what we're now rolling out is the health agencies of the Tasmanian government, which is where we're up to. And the extra $4 million really is earmarked for future expansion onto the mainland and pushing, HCS, which is a really big part of the Anitel acquisition in terms of that asset sort of operating finance and leasing finance onto the mainland and doing large deployments on the mainland. And that's kind of what it's earmarked for. And obviously, it's important that we can fund the growth. And that's what that portion of the facility is allowing us, or going to allow us to do.
Great. And finally, Damian, how do these immediate plans align with the company's long-term growth strategy?
Look, the long-term growth strategy has always been, growth in a balanced sort of organic and acquisitive. It's been a balanced organic and acquisitive strategy. we've definitely acquired prolifically to start with, to set the right foundations for the business. We've obviously acquired a direct channel to broaden the revenue base. We've invested heavily in the enablement space. And so what this allows us to do by supporting that balanced organic and acquisitive strategy is that we have the capital, we're able now to capitalise on the foundations that we've laid across the three channels that the business operates under: enablement, wholesale, and Anytel Direct. We can now capitalise on the foundations that we've set and continue to grow that, both through acquisition and organically. And that's what this facility has allowed us to do. And so, we're very excited by the opportunity that we have now that we've got the funds to be able to capitalise on the foundations that we've set. And so it's really aligned with our long-term strategy. And, we are delivering on our strategy. We're doing what we said we were going to do, and we'll continue to do that. And this only makes it easier.
Wonderful. Well, Damian Kay, thank you for the update from Inabox Group.